Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Ken Rogers. On this week's program, it's another Ag in the Courtroom with Dr. Roger McEowen for the Washburn School of Law. We'll talk Build Back Better. We also have features from the Kansas Soybean Commission, Kansas Department of Agriculture, and Kansas Grain Sorghum, along with a weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association and market information from Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers. Kansas Farm Bureau, a grassroots ag organization representing the state's farm and ranch families since 1919, kfb.org. And the Kansas Wheat Commission, lending in the adoption of profitable innovations from wheat, online at kswheat.com.
In agricultural news from agview.net, Jefferson County rancher Phil Perry of Oskaloosa moved up to KLA president during the group's annual business meeting earlier in the month. Members also chose Sean Tiffany, a cattle feeder from Harrington, as the new KLA president-elect. Perry and Tiffany will lead the 5,700-member organization for the next year. And next week, we'll talk with Perry and immediate past President Jerry Kuckelman on the program. A dramatic rise in fertilizer prices weighs heavily on U.S. crop farmers and input suppliers as they prepare for the 2022 planting season. Prices for nitrogen-based fertilizers commonly used for corn production have skyrocketed to all-time highs in recent months. Fertilizer price increases are driven by nitrogen production challenges, tight global supplies, rising natural gas costs, and a steady demand. Now, according to a new report out from CoBank's Knowledge Exchange Division, fertilizer prices are expected to remain elevated for the next 6 months and probably throughout 2022's spring agronomic season. The report also suggests that while U.S. soybean acres will rise nominally compared to 2021 because of higher fertilizer prices, the total volume of soybean acres will not exceed corn acres in 2022. U.S. crop farmers and farm supply cooperatives are facing operational anxiety heading into next year, driven by higher fuel prices, shortages of agrochemicals due to COVID-related disruptions, and most importantly, that rise in fertilizer prices. And registration is now open for a 4-part workshop being held at 36 locations in Kansas to help farmers and ranchers deal with the uncertainty of fluctuating grain and input prices. Kansas State University officials say the program, Risk Management Skills for Kansas Women in Agriculture, will focus on numerous topics like determining costs of production, utilizing crop insurance, crop marketing plans, and government farm programs. The workshop, a series of 4 sessions, held in a series of Wednesdays beginning January 12th. Now, all sessions will be in person, and hands-on activities follow a discussion on each topic. An optional 5th session scheduled for February 23rd. That'll cover the beef cow risk calf management, focusing on enterprise budgeting, cattle marketing, as well as cow calf insurance. Now, there will be 36 locations, as we said, around the state. So if you would like to participate, a similar series was held early in 2020, drew about 700 participants. For more information, location near you, or to register, contact your local extension agent. More on these and other stories at agview.net. We'll be right back.
The Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by Kansas Grain Sorghum, growers working together. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com and agview.net, serving the Beef Belt and Western Corn Belt with reliable and relevant agriculture information. agview.net.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn for livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population. The farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, But how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
What if U.S. soybean meal were more than a commodity? If seed companies and the soybean checkoff built a better variety? That future is here. The time is now. To meet end-user demands, the soybean checkoff is investing in the compositional quality of soybeans, including meal. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the soybean checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
And welcome back, and it's kind of a special holiday edition, if you will, of Ag in the Courtroom. Dr. Roger McEowen from the Washburn School of Law joins us. And Dr. McEowen, as we kind of wind up the year, there's been a lot of things, and I think eventually, probably next month, we'll talk about looking at your famous top 10 list for next couple times. But we want to talk about this time around is what's going on in Congress or not going on, and that has to do with this Buildback Better. There are so many tax provisions that folks need to be aware of.
There are, and I know a lot of farmers and ranchers were really concerned about that legislation. And while there's still reason to be concerned as to what it might do to their operations, there's less reason to be concerned. We actually have some good news because such things as an income tax basis step up at death rule did not change. The estate tax in the House version was not reduced. The corporate tax rate did not go up. Capital gain top rate did not increase. So those are a lot of good things. It could have been much more impactful for a typical farmer or rancher than actually what came out of the House.
But there still seems to be some concern because, as they always say, the devil's in the details, and maybe there's some additions to some of those subtractions.
Well, we'll see what happens on the Senate side. I don't anticipate that the Senate would ever add back any of those provisions that I just mentioned. Plus, another good thing is they didn't change what we call the grantor trust rules, and there was a proposal that would have really eliminated a lot of trust planning that we do for farmers and ranchers, and those rule changes were not in there. And that included a change in the rules that would say a contribution to a trust or a distribution from a trust would be a taxable event. And fortunately, that got cut before the House voted on it, right at the last minute. So that's another one of those things I don't think the Senate would add back in.
Because it seems like the Senate would be more deliberative. So and I know that they're going through the whole process of the parliamentarians, so anything that may be outside of that scope will be taken out anyway.
Yeah, that's true. There were a lot of attempts in the House side to get some things into the bill that were ruled to be not germane to the legislation, and that could, of course, happen on the Senate side. Really what we have to pay attention to is what Senator Manchin and Senator Sinema, West Virginia and Arizona, respectively, what their views are, because they really control it. If they don't agree with something, it's not going to get through the Senate. Now, I think it's likely that something will come out of the Senate, but there's still a chance that nothing would, so we'll have to see. But the really major concern areas for farmers and ranchers are not in the bill right now.
So as far as some of that year-end tax planning, some of that moving forward, say with transitions of generation to the next, we're probably going to be okay and keep that.
Yeah, I think we're fine. Those that did a lot of planning in anticipation that the rules were going to change. Of course, we didn't know this, but really nothing has changed as of right now, and I just don't think it will as we get to the end of the year. So do your normal planning, be ready, have a plan in place if you have to change something, but I don't think we're going to see dramatic changes in the law now that the bill has come through the House.
Dr. Roger McEowen from the Washburn School of Law is joining us. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
Kansas Ag Report brought to you in part by the Kansas Livestock Association, supporting members' business interests and meeting consumer demands. KLA.org. Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. And Kansas Corn, building the future at kansascorn.com.
Many seed companies claim to offer the latest genetics, but how many have tested those genetics in soils just like yours? The Oldie Seed Know to Grow research program has fully tested the latest seed genetics in soils that are right in your neighborhood. The Oldie Seed Know to Grow program can recommend the best performing hybrids from technologies like Enlist, Extend, and Liberty Link that will optimize the yield and profit of every acre on your farm. Contact Oldie Seed today.
And we're joined by Dr. Roger McEowen for the Washburn School of Law. As we wrap up, we have been with him now. He's been with us every month, and so we look forward to a new year. But we're wrapping up this December with what is and isn't in the Build Back Better. And so there's a couple other provisions we didn't talk about, or possible provisions. And there's a lot of things dealing with energy. And quite honestly, Roger, all of us are affected by what goes on with energy.
Well, the bad things about the bill is that it stops, it just continues the freeze on drilling in the ANWR area in Alaska and in the Gulf of Mexico. So, you know, in the pipelines, that's all stopped. That hasn't been freed up in the legislation. On the other side, it continues a lot of the existing tax credits for such things as biofuels and biodiesel and all, you know, solar and wind. So it continues to extend those tax credits that were in the code for at least another year. In some areas, it's more than a year, and it might be 5 years. It just depends on the particular credit. And those are littered throughout the tax code. They're just all over the place. But the major energy-related credits have been extended.
Okay. There's also some tweaks in a sense to individual retirement accounts. Now, many in agriculture wait maybe for the end of that sale, or do very little sometimes when it comes to retirement unless it, and this I think is going to be a year because of where we were with farm income that you may want to do some of that, not only for tax savings, but tell us what might come out of all this.
Well, what came out of the House bill that now the Senate is considering are restrictions on who can contribute to IRAs and when extra distributions have to be taken. But they set the thresholds at 10 million and another step at 25 million, and that's total all of your basically all of your IRAs and defined benefit contribution plans aggregated together. If you get up over a $10 million threshold, then there's a limit on what you can continue to contribute, and you have to start withdrawing more out. The excess over 10 million, about half of it has to come out every year. That'll affect a few. Probably not too many,
right?
But that goes along with the surcharge they put in on higher income people. And I'll tell you one business provision that's in there that is concerning will affect those in an S corporation, because now they make the additional 3.8% passive tax that came in Obamacare and say that applies to active trader business income if you have over $400,000 of income. So we're going to have to watch that. So if you've got an S corporation and you're generating more than $400,000 and another cuts $500,000, depending on filing status, then you get an extra 3.8% tax on your active trader business income. That had only applied to passive income before. So we have to watch that.
It is. Okay, Dr. McEowen, if folks want to learn more about what we've talked about here and other things that you write about, how can they do that?
They can go to my blog, which is accessible through my website. That's washburnlaw.edu/WALTR.
Okay. Well, have a great rest of the holiday season, and we look forward to talking with you next year. So, Dr. Roger McEowen has joined us. Stay with us. We'll have more in just a few moments.
Next time you see a beautiful field of corn, reach out and thank the farmers who work tirelessly to raise corn. For livestock feed, renewable fuels, and exports to feed a growing world population, the farmers on the Kansas Corn Commission work for Kansas Corn with grower-funded checkoff dollars that support foreign and domestic market development, research, promotion, and education to expand opportunities for Kansas farmers. To learn more, visit kscorn.com.
Bob Hazelwood from Shawnee County is a recipient of Kansas Farm Bureau's Distinguished Service to Agriculture Award for 2021. For 45 years, Bob has committed countless hours to serving the agriculture industry. As a farmer first, he raises soybeans, corn, and wheat on his family farm in Barryton. In 2005, he was elected to the Kansas Soybean Commission, and from there has served in multiple officer positions and as a representative to a host of organizations, including the World Initiative for Soy and Human Health, U.S. Soybean Export Council, and the National Biodiesel Board. His focus has been on bringing value back to Kansas soybean farmers through investments in agronomic research, developing uses for soybeans, and building demand for soy. In 2006, he was appointed to serve Kansas farmers as a director on the United Soybean Board, where he served through 2016. As a director, he strengthened the soybean checkoff's work nationally and internationally, while working to develop new markets and expand demand for soybeans. He served as chairman of the organization from 2014 to 2015. Bob has done tremendous work on behalf of growers promoting soybeans across the world. Throughout his service, he has traveled to 22 countries to grow demand for soybeans. His legacy of service has also impacted Kansas Farm Bureau, where he has served on the Membership Committee, Resolutions Committee, Vote FBF, and the Oil Seeds Committee. Giving back and serving as a voice of the industry has been Bob's legacy for more than 40 years. Thank you, Bob, for your commitment to the agricultural community.
What if sustainability were synonymous with U.S. soy? If energy efficiency, water quality, and soil health help define U.S. soy's value, that future is here, the time is now. To meet end-user demands, the Soybean Checkoff is committing to sustainability that's achievable, worthwhile, and enduring. A message from the Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Working in agriculture can mean difficult challenges, many of which are out of our control. This can cause significant stress in the lives of many people across the agriculture community, and that's why in recent years we've seen an increased focus on mental health issues. 2 years ago, the Kansas Department of Agriculture worked with several Kansas Ag partners to create a website to provide resources and support to those dealing with ag-related stress. The website can be found at kansasagstress.org. This site serves as a clearinghouse for many services and resources that are currently available to address the challenges that Kansas farmers, ranchers, and their families face in today's ag industry. Since the website was introduced, we have expanded the resources to include options for teletherapy, and we've added a list of ag-aware providers who have experience or background in farming and a special interest in helping within the ag community. kansasagstress.org features local and national resources and support for issues ranging from stress management to financial and legal challenges, with sections to serve every member of the family, from teens to aging adults. This winter, Kansas will roll out a statewide campaign that will lead the way as we work to destigmatize the concept of mental health and encourage people across our agriculture community to ask for help when they need it. Please don't overlook the importance of caring for your own health and wellness. Together with our partners, the Kansas Department of Agriculture has made it a priority to provide support and assistance to Kansans battling ag-related stress and mental health concerns. Share this website, kansasagstress.org, with your neighbors, family, and friends who may be struggling during difficult times, and help us assure them they are not alone.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
It's been a great 103rd annual meeting of Kansas Farm Bureau. So great to have everyone here together. We had some great presentations, got to acknowledge a lot of people that have made an impact on agriculture and our organization. We also had the opportunity to hear from one of our own, Dale Moore from KFB. We were able to wrap up our meeting with our delegate session and talk about some issues that are on the minds of several people. We talked about the makeup of our committees within Kansas Farm Bureau. Policy-wise, we had issues revolving around trade, country of origin, and the membership was to express their opinion as where we needed to be. Overall, a great 103rd annual meeting.
Are you looking for Medicare supplement insurance plans? Now is a good time to look at your options with Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans. A Medicare supplement insurance plan can help cover certain out-of-pocket expenses Medicare doesn't cover. Things like deductibles, co-insurance, and certain limitations that can be costly in the event of an accident or illness. With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you have options to Medicare supplement insurance plans with 4 levels of affordable coverage and service from an organization known for its commitment serving Kansans. We encourage you to compare our rates. For more information and to get a quote, contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you or visit kfbhealthplans.com. Medicare supplements insured by Members Health Insurance Company, Columbia, Tennessee. Not connected with or endorsed by the U.S. or state government.
As we mark our calendars for late November already, sorghum harvest in Kansas is wrapping up, with many farmers across the state in recent weeks finishing cutting. According to the USDA Crop Progress Report from November 22, 2021, sorghum harvested in Kansas was 91% completed. A little behind last year's progress, but near 90% done on average. Increased acres, yields, and exports have created perfect conditions for momentum within the sorghum industry this year. And an important focus for the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission and United Sorghum Checkoff is helping connect producers with international buyers. Net sales of 323,100 metric tons for 2021-22, a marketing year high, were up 24% from the previous week and 40% from the prior 4-week average. Increases were reported for China and Mexico and unknown destinations. And as the industry progresses through an optimistic marketing year, be sure to mark your New Year 2022 calendars for exciting and informative engagement events with your Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission and Producers Association this winter. Fresh off their strategic planning meeting in early December, the Kansas Grain Sorghum Commission and the Kansas Grain Sorghum Producers Association will hold their winter joint board meeting in Salina on Thursday, January 27th, 2022, with the Kansas Commodity Classic to follow on Friday, January 28th. The Kansas Grain Sorghum Producers Association will also host its membership for its annual meeting directly following the conclusion of the Kansas Commodity Classic, where growers can hear research and investment updates from invited commissioners and sorghum staff. For more information on events in sorghum in Kansas, contact our staff by visiting ksgrainsorghum.org. For Kansas Grain Sorghum, this is Adam York.
Grain sorghum is one of the most important cereal crops worldwide, and Kansas leads the nation in its production. Over the years, sorghum has been either exported, used in animal feed domestically, or for other industrial uses. Recently, its use in the ethanol market has seen tremendous growth, with 30% of domestic sorghum typically going to ethanol production. Kansas Grain Sorghum is committed to sorghum research, market development, and education. Learn more at ksgrainsorghum.org.
Jefferson County rancher Phil Perry of Oskaloosa moved up to president of the Kansas Livestock Association during the group's annual business meeting December 3rd in Wichita. Members chose Sean Tiffany, a cattle feeder from Harrington, as the new KLA president-elect. Perry has been involved in the cattle industry for more than 40 years. He grew up in Oskaloosa, and he and his wife Rhonda currently reside on land that has been in the family for 6 generations. They operate a cow-calf and custom preconditioning business. Involvement in KLA has been important to Perry throughout his 38 years of membership. He currently serves on the KLA Board of Directors and the Jefferson County KLA Committee. Perry was chairman of the KLA Stock Growers Council in 2014. He also has served on the National Cattlemen's Beef Association Board of Directors. Additionally, he is a member of the Kansas Beef Council Executive Committee and represents Kansas on the Cattlemen's Beef Board. Sean Tiffany co-owns and operates Tiffany Cattle Company with his brother Shane. The joint venture includes 2 finishing yards, one near Harrington and another near Marquette, and a grow yard at Allen. Tiffany currently serves as chairman of the KLA Natural Resources Committee. He also serves on both the KLA Environmental Services Board of Directors and KLA Risk Management Services Board of Directors. Tiffany represents Kansas on the NCBA International Trade Committee. He received his bachelor's degree in animal sciences and industry from Kansas State University in 2000. He and his wife Nikki have 5 children.
Premier Farm & Home has what you need to make your lawn the best in the neighborhood.
Hi, I'm Ken. We choose Premier Farm & Home for the professional look that we do ourselves.
Feel free to stop in. You can also visit our website at heycow.com.
Mitch Dewar here with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom. Omicron fears have eased. We saw both the stock market and crude oil bounce back from a rather large sell-off. There's still a lot of unknowns about the variant, but markets felt comfortable enough to move off the lows and back to a familiar trading range. The grain markets felt the pressure from the variant and the outside markets, as we saw a couple of large down days. As did crude in the stock markets. Once some time passed and fears eased, corn and soybeans were able to move back to levels before the variant. After South America's great start to the planting and growing season, dryness has started to creep into southern Brazil, and especially in Argentina. It's still early in the year, but as we move down the calendar, the trade will be looking harder at South America's weather and crop conditions. Wheat has continued to be volatile and is off its new 8-year high put in the day before Thanksgiving. The trade continues to process all the headlines the wheat market has to trade. Bulls are looking at the dryness here in North America, along with rising tensions with Russia and Ukraine. The bears are looking at the global weather as it seems to be improving, along with weak U.S. export demand. As a wheat producer, this is an ideal time to analyze your position on both old crop and new crop wheat, looking at both your downside and upside risk in the following months and being prepared for a violent swing in either direction. The cash live cattle market has continued to strengthen. Cash continues to be premium to futures. Futures should look to follow the cash trade as we enter the end of the year, along with a couple weeks of shortened kill due to the holidays. Futures are also watching the demand side as we continue to see boxed beef slip during a typical seasonal holiday rally. If you would like to discuss the markets or look at a marketing plan for your operation, give us a call at 888-452-8751. I'm Mitch Dewar with Pinion, a division of K-Coe Isom.
That's our show this week. Be social with us at KansasAgReport.net or on our social media channels. I'm Ken Rogers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Kansas Corn reminds you that E15 fuel is the right choice for every kind of driver. For the car enthusiast, E15 has higher octane. For the thrifty driver, E15 is priced lower than regular unleaded. For the nature lover, E15 provides cleaner air. For the shopper who buys local, E15 has more ethanol from our Kansas corn farms. Choose E15 for a higher octane, lower price, cleaner American fuel. Message from the Kansas Corn Commission. Learn more at kscorn.com.
Does your health plan lack dental and vision coverage? With Kansas Farm Bureau Health Plans, you can get a dental and vision bundle for yourself or your family at an affordable price, giving you the ability to maximize your benefits and lower your costs. Plus, you'll get a solid network of providers in one convenient package. Learn more at kfbhealthplans.com or contact a Farm Bureau Financial Services agent near you.